Hi YouTubers, it's Trudy here, coming in to do my week 45 update of my gastric bypass surgery. Sorry I'm still in pajamas, I'm just getting ready to get dressed to go run some errands, but I'll explain that after. The numbers, when I started my journey I was 359 pounds. Day of surgery I was 341. Last week I was 224. The week before I was 224. The week before I was 224. I'm still 224. Still stalled out. And don't know what I can do about it, but I've been trying. I've upped my protein intake, I've upped my water, nothing much more I can do. And it kind of ticks me off because, not to get too personal here, but I'm coming into that time of the month, so I'm going to stall out for that too, so I'm not looking forward to much of a weight loss over the next week or two anyway. So, my husband's leaving to go to Florida day after tomorrow. He's going for 5 days. For work. I'm a little bitter about that, I have to be honest. I know it's for work, I know he has to go, but makes me bitter. So I told him I'm going to get a job too that takes me, because I'm going back to work in September, when this is my last summer off with the kids. I'll be back to work in September, and I'm going to find a job that takes me out of the country repeatedly. So that he needs to be the one to take care of the kids. He needs to be the one to arrange babysitting if he wants to leave the house for any reason. He needs to be the one to cook the 3 squares a day, do all the laundry, pack the lunches, do the homework. Because quite frankly, and I know this is selfish of me, I know it is, and it's going to sound awful when I say it, I'm sick and tired of holding down the fort. We made the decision when we had kids that I would stay home until they were both in school full time. And that was before full-time kindergarten was even on the table. That didn't come in. So now my youngest is in JK, but he goes full-time all day, every day. My oldest is in grade 2. So I can go back to work a full year earlier than we'd planned. Because we thought we'd be going back to work when my youngest is in grade 1. But now that I can go back to work early, and I'm ready to go back to work. I love that I was able to stay home for them, but I'm done. I want to get out. I want to get back to work. I want to think about things other than the house and kids, and my husband's going to Florida, but somehow it's my responsibility to pack him and go buy the American money and go, buy him things, the shaving cream and the toothpaste, and not that I mind doing all that stuff, but why the hell is it my responsibility? Maybe I might be PMSing. I don't know. But I'm just having a really hard time with this because I'm pretty bitter that he's going. Not that he had a choice, I'm not bitter with him, I'm just bitter with the situation. And then they take them out of the country, and they all have corporate cell phones. They're all provided by the employer. So they're all going to be out of the country, so the employers put the kibosh on using the cell phones out of country. So I can't even call him, he can't call me. For 5 days. And breathe. So anyway, that's my rant on that. And yesterday we went to Chuck E. Cheese for my son's 8th birthday. Can't believe he's 8. And there was a little girl there. She was probably 10 or 11. And she was obese. She was so big, this little girl. And as I'm sitting there watching her play and run around, and I had memories of me when I was a little girl, and anger towards my parents for not doing anything about it. Because my parents' actions, what they fed me, led me to a teenage life full of, obesity, and my adult life, I was obese. It led me to a lifetime of obesity, and it led me to this place where I am now. It led me to that surgery because I had no other options, because my parents didn't teach me the proper way to eat. My parents didn't teach me that it's not okay to eat the portions I was eating. In my family, it was sort of a rite of passage when I was a kid to be able to eat a Big Mac meal. To move from a Happy Meal into a Big Mac meal. And My parents will deny this up and down, but I remember eating out at least 5 nights a week. You know, it was Kentucky Fried Chicken one night, McDonald's one night, pizza one night, Chinese food one night. And Chinese food was always the buffet. And my dad was a big guy, and I watched my dad eat 2 or 3 plates full of food in a sitting, and I thought that was the normal thing to do. And I just looked at this little girl, and I wanted to shake her mother and have her mother look into my teenage years and how, I mean, I was lucky. I had good friends. I had, you know, my classmates, except for maybe a couple, didn't make fun of me for my weight, at least to my face. And I was very lucky in that respect. It was strangers who felt the need to say things to me. It was my own inner dialogue that said the bad things to me. I used to cut myself. I tried my hands at eating disorders, failed at those miserably. You know, I never had a boyfriend as a teenager. I had one boyfriend when I was 13. He turned out to be gay, but, you know, whatever. And, you know, the boys that I had feelings for, I was their friend. I was their buddy. I was their, you know, they could hang out with me and bitch about their girlfriend. Or, you know, I would have feelings for a boy and he would go sleep with my friend. So I was sort of like that gateway person to introduce the boys to my friends. You know, I was the designated driver all the time. I was the one you could call for a ride to somewhere. Trudy, you know, me and so-and-so want to go on a date. Can you drive us to the movies? Okay. You know, I was the great friend that did everything for everyone, and I was a freaking doormat is what I was, because I felt the need. I needed to be accepted by these people. And I know this poor girl, when her mom had the power to change this, like now, as I'm watching this girl scarf down her 4th slice of pizza, and I'm thinking, Mom, like, what are you doing? There's a salad bar. Get her a freaking salad. Limit the pizza intake to 2 slices. She doesn't have to eat 4 slices of pizza. Like, what you're doing to this girl is not fair. You are not teaching her. It just made me sad for her. It made me angry with the mom, and I was surprised that it did. I was really angry with the mom as she's sitting there playing on her iPhone, ignoring the fact that her kid is scarfing down half a pizza. And she's playing Angry Birds or something for all I know. You know, it just, with my kids, I'm very afraid that I will let them get there, because I remember my parents getting me there, and I remember being so, even now, I'm so angry with them for letting it happen, because in my eyes, it's their fault. I was a kid. I didn't know what I was supposed to do. You know, and when we eat out 5 nights a week, what are they teaching me? You know? Anyway, that was a huge rant. I felt bad for that kid, and I felt angry towards that mother. Because, you know, I remember. I'll never forget. I was the butt of so many, well, you know, boys. I had one boy call me up and ask to be his girlfriend, but it was a dare. He was just kidding. I made a blind date with one boy. Blind date. I met him on the phone. I used to call these like party lines, these free party lines when I was a teenager. And we made arrangements to meet. So I met him. I didn't meet him. I went to meet him, and I was sitting at the place where we agreed to meet, and he drove up, took a look at me, and drove off. And then never spoke to me again. I remember that pain. That is just, there's that spot in my heart that remembers all this and that feels all this pain. And when I see a little girl like that, just coming into her teenage years, just coming into puberty, it makes me really sad for them. So anyway, guys, that's me. Week 45. 224, 135 pounds lost so far. I've installed it for my last 4 updates. See you soon. Bye.